I, oh. So, what, what the hell was that? Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Season finale. I can't even... New Life, New Civilizations? Is that what it's called? What the hell was this? Like, okay, first of all, it is not the worst episode of the season. I think, for me at least, that's still 4.5 Vulcans, not only because I can't stand cringe content, but that one actually dabbled in eugenics pretty casually. This doesn't do that, at least. So, I'll take it, I suppose. This feels so unlike Star Trek, though. It's got all this, sort of cosmic nonsense going on, and I've got nothing against cosmic nonsense. I'm not even saying that Star Trek can't dabble in a little bit of cosmic nonsense, but this is cosmic nonsense more on the scale of like Babylon 5. Like this is a whole other ball of wax, what this is doing. I think its core idea is just not very good. Like, just let's bring the possessed Gamble back and like make these things that were a one-off villain in a not very good episode our big climactic threat, and also use it to get rid of Pike's love interest. Okay, I'm not sure that's a good starting point. That having been said, I would really love to get my hands on the original shooting strip for this, because I just want to know why the editing is so atrociously bad. Like, ridiculously so. And I'm just trying to figure out, is it this bad because scenes were cut? Was it written this bad? So I should probably give some examples of what I'm talking about. Generally, to steal the sort of bullet point description from Dan Olson, when you talk about editing being bad, you're generally talking about two kinds of editing: shot to shot and scene to scene. Shot to shot means like this angle doesn't flow into that angle, and suddenly like it jumps to another angle that doesn't properly establish within the geography, or an action scene that is edited so choppily you can't tell what the hell's going on. That's bad shot to shot editing. This doesn't really have that. This has, however, atrocious scene to scene editing, because like things just logically don't flow from one scene to the next, and it completely sweeps the legs out from under the one thing that might have worked and kind of came close. I suppose I'll name that stuff now. There's basically like two things I have anything nice to say about. The effect they did on Batel's eyes, when like there was a galaxy in there. That was cool. I liked it. I wish they kept with it instead of ditching it, because probably they didn't have the budget to keep doing it. And then like the whole, I couldn't help but think of the Nexus from Star Trek Generations, but the whole Pike and Batel like have a future together that is an impossible future, not just because she's about to effectively die, but also just because we know what's going to happen to Pike, and then they actually have this freedom, and Pike even gets scared by it at first. I thought I knew what was going to happen. Now I don't know what's going to happen. And she's like, well, that's how it is for everyone. And like that could have been something, except the transition into this going on is so jarring that I just kept waiting for us to get out of it. And it felt like it dragged on forever, partially because it didn't feel natural flowing into it in the first place. That having been said, I like the jump points being knocks on the door. I like that. I like that as a sort of the recurrent thing, like time to move on. That was nice. I did actually like that. And also, I kind of like a little bit of the timey-wiminess of it, a little bit of the playing of cause and effect. It's not like particularly intricate, but it's a thing. I'm like, okay. That's kind of it, though. I got to circle back to the editing. So, like, my core example of this, and it's also bad writing and bad staging, and it's bad across the board. Not the actor's fault, but like seems like almost everybody else's fault to some degree. But okay, so we have the situation where what's his face, Nurse Chapel's archaeology boyfriend, he's ended up here, and he's ended up at the top of this tower, and there's Gamble in this freaking reject Chronicles of Riddick looking bone armor. Like, oh my god, that looks so bad. Like, if I had seen that on the floor at a cosplay convention, mwah, gold. As an actual thing appearing in Star Trek on screen, nah. No, it looks awful. It looks very out of place and very fake. So that doesn't help. But anyway, he's up there and Gamble's up there. That's the last time we saw them. Now, we have this little party of people who are showing up to try and get archaeology boyfriend out. And first of all, the way that they get there is really, really silly. Because, like, oh, let's distract them by acting drunk, and then we'll have La'an do a Vulcan nerve pinch on both of them at the same time. And everyone else will just keep walking around, ignoring the fact that somebody just knocked out 2 guards who were guarding the entrance of what a temple, effectively. And they do it in broad daylight, in a crowded area. And nobody notices or cares. Okay, like, this is already bad, but all right. So then they teleport up there. They get up there and are immediately confronted with archaeology boyfriend, who isn't captured. He's just standing around, and Gamble isn't there. All of a sudden, we cut back down to the ground level, and now Gamble's there. It was like ships crossing in the night. It was like, wait, last time we saw you, you were in the place where they just went, but now you're in the place where they just were? And, like, you're just missing each other. The entire scene of him being there and, like, they all get worshipy of him and, like, start gouging out their own eyes, completely unnecessary, means nothing. The fact that he has this influence over the society never becomes a plot point at all. But then, all of a sudden, when you have Mbenga, opening up this doorway thing, suddenly, Gamble's back up there, not in the bone armor, and hiding in a freaking hood. When did you get back up here? So far as we knew, the only entrance was that freaking teleporter that they were all standing in front of. How and when did you get back up here? And oh my gosh. And then after they do the whole Spock Kirk mind meld thing, and then they sync up the ships, and I've still got a cold if you couldn't tell. But then, like, once Mbenga is like there with Gamble, like back in the freaking place from, what was it, episode 5, whatever the hell it was. And then suddenly we cut back to the Enterprise, and the captain just is talking to La'an, and she's like, yeah, we had to leave right away. I'm like, when? And also you're back in your normal uniform. Like, this is a dire, drastic situation, but you had enough time to get out of your costume and get back into your normal uniform. The editing scene to scene is abysmal. And it makes flowing into that whole thing with Pike and Batel so jarring. And it's just one more jarring thing and a bunch of jarring things. And it just made me unable to connect with what was going on, because it was just one more instance of me going, what the hell is happening and why am I supposed to care? Which is not a good emotional state for me to be in when you're trying to tug at my heartstrings. So, yeah. That was bad. I suppose on the Kirk Spock mind meld thing, it's kind of cute. Did you have to throw the queer baiting in there? And yeah, I don't usually do accusations of queer baiting. I don't. I think in many cases, not all, but in many cases, queer baiting is the disappointment of fans who were projecting. Sometimes things do actually queer bait their audience. A lot of the time, though, at least observationally, from my perspective as someone who's not really a shipper and is looking at all this from the outside, observationally, it seems to me that a lot of stuff that is called queer baiting is fans who are being hopeful, who then have that hope dashed because the show, basically removes the possibility that it was there. Because prior to that, it wasn't directly addressed whether or not a couple of characters were actually capable of feeling those kinds of feelings for each other. And it's kind of just an extension of shipping wars in a lot of way. Here, though, I'm going to call this queer baiting. Given the history of Kirk/Spock, and understand that kind of fandom, that kind of shipping, gay love fandom is part of why we even still have Star Trek. The fanzines where that stuff was born were what helped prove that Star Trek was still beloved enough to be worth reviving after the initial run of the original series. That stuff matters, and it's been around for ages. They know that Kirk/Spock is a thing. And they're gonna have Kirk go oh, this is a date? Oh, be gentle when Spock does the mind melt. And I'm sorry. I know they think it's cute. It's not. It's kind of a slap in the face because we know you will never, ever follow through on that because this entire franchise is too cowardly to ever do it. And my general rule of thumb is if you're not going to do it and you know you're not going to do it, don't tease it. You're being mean. You are baiting. This is queer baiting. I actually can't think of the last time I actually firmly said that a show or a movie was queer baiting its audience. That absolutely was. And screw them for doing it. Take the queer baiting aspect out. It was kind of cute. Whatever. Man, there's... Again, this is not the worst episode of the season. The stuff that's bad in it is not the worst that we have been given. There is so little good in this, though. This season's a disaster. The closest thing to a legitimately good episode was the Shabubadoo that ate its own tail, whatever it was called. That was it. That was the one that I could actually say is okay, that was good. It's not great, but it's good. And then there's one or two others that are well, that was decent. And that's it. 10 episodes for a couple of decents in one. Good. I'm done. Unless when this thing comes back, unless I'm either deeply bored by the time we get another season, or if I have independently heard from people I trust that it's actually legitimately good, I'm done. This season hurt. This episode was infuriating. No more. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, season finale for season 3. What'd you think of this? This episode, this season, whatever. Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills, enables me to do this as my living. Even if you can't help me out that way, like, share, subscribe. Those all help. Don't worry too much about it, though. Even though I should be resting instead of working, as you can hear. Sorry, it's a problem. I'm trying to get better about that. But whatever. We try and take a relaxed attitude around here. So just come on back next time you need a break. And now to thank my highest supporting patrons, Robin Moore, Jared Boyce, Zubin Lufula, Monty Kate 808, Mira G, Angry Casperl, Dave Hall, Movie Turtle, Oliver B, Sean Miller, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Alyssa Pedersen, Mary Mello, Becky Sparks, Loki Eris, Tracy Scrabbit, Pau Barabajoggle, and Sir Didymus is my favorite, as well as Welsh Wrestling Geeks. So, folks said they wanted the rats back. Here they are. I really should have not worn something that exposed this much skin. Their nails are sharp. Ow. Oh, you guys. Get back here. Butthead.